Cool. All right. This episode of the KBMOD podcast is brought to you by KBMOD.com. Of course, go check out the website. News, notes, also the most epic game of Counter-Strike ever played is currently up there in 5 installments. Go check it out. That's, of course, the site that supports everything here. And we have forums on there. All our servers are listed: Mumble, Counter-Strike, Minecraft. Also, multi-stream, which is the best way to watch multiple streams on Twitch, far and away. Don't use multi-Twitch. Stop. What are you doing? Use multi-stream, kbmod.com/multi-stream. And, of course, PC Part Picker, who brings you multi-stream. And Philip over there is a great dude. Always use them. If you are sending us PC builds on Twitter or whatever, always use PC Part Picker. Like I said last week, don't be Mama Spoon and send me 18 Newegg links.
He sends you the same link for each stick of RAM, just over and over.
What about this? What about this?
So, but that is it. What we are brought to you by this week.
All right. Those are our sponsors, and we are on episode 158 of the KBMOD podcast. We did it, Reddit. Woo! I don't know why for episode 158 that I'm this excited, but 160 will be. That's a better number. But we'll do it. We're here. We are short John this week. But the date today is it's the 21st of September. It is a Sunday. It is 2014. And yeah, what's going on, people? We got Nikon on the cast tonight.
Yeah.
How you doing, buddy?
Doing good. I'm just nerding out on some WoW again.
Oh, nice.
You want to kill some time and not do anything productive? Well, this is the game for you. Because the hours just fly by.
I like garbage games too, so I can relate. No. Yeah, what's been going on? Let's start off. We've been doing this. Any interesting life things, because we are fucking nerds, but anything unique or cool happened to any of us this week that we'd like to share before we get into what we've been playing?
I went to a party last night.
Yes. And we're you can tell. Go ahead.
It was actually awesome. It was Sean, our web guru. They homebrew, and they're like actually go you can follow them on Twitter. I think it's at Big Rail Brewing. That's the name of their company. And soon I think they're going to be trying to actually sell beer, but they make good stuff. But they have a homebrew fest every year, so there's a bunch of home brewers from the area bringing their beers, and got to check those out. Didn't get too crazy, but
your Twitter timeline suggests otherwise.
But I got to see some people I hadn't seen in like seriously a decade last night, so that was really cool. But yeah, it was a very cool party.
Who is the person that you tweeted a picture of, just captioned "Oh hi"?
That's my buddy Ron.
He didn't look happy.
That was the point. Someone did the zoom in on his face. Was it you? I forget who it was. Somebody did. Somebody tweeted me the old
I would
face.
be scared to zoom in on that very angry face anymore. It's very aggressive.
They had some watermelon moonshine at this party.
Ooh,
I did not partake in, but holy crap. You could smell it from feet away. Like, they had honey moonshine and then also peach moonshine. The peach went like super quick. I don't know who drank it all. It was 130 proof.
At that point, does it really matter what you call it? It's still gonna just taste like moonshine. It's like, oh, this is peach moonshine. Oh, yeah, sure it is, bud.
Yeah.
That'll put hair on your schmeckle. Jeez. My goodness. Probably all parts of your body. 130. I've had moonshine once, and I did like it. And I also was the drunkest I've ever been in my life. So
that would do it.
Again. Brandon, did you go to any flea markets? I'm just curious this week.
No, I went to a concert last weekend, though. That's why I missed the cast.
Yes, we need to talk about this. So what concert did you go to? What bands played, and what did you think of it? Because we were speculating ourselves. We weren't sure.
No, it was called Aftershock Festival. It's up in Sacramento. It's just like it's a 2-day rock show with a bunch of bands, but I just went for Sunday. Saw bands like Blackstone Cherry, Atreyu, Godsmack, Rob Zombie, lots of good bands.
Who was the best? Who was the best? Would you say out of all?
Probably Blackstone Cherry. They're a really good band, and I hadn't seen them live before, but they were a good live show. It was a really cool venue. It's in Discovery Park, which is just like Nikon probably knows. It's like it's just a big outdoor park, and they kind of just they fence things off and they put stages up, and there's just everyone's just out there kind of in this really cool park. There's a lot of shade, just like a really nice venue. And so we had some drinks. I had some corn dogs.
Ooh.
So it's pretty solid.
How were the corn dogs?
Corn dogs are pretty good. They were like $6 each. So that sort of
That's not
influenced.
good.
Like, it's one of those things where when you pay $6 for a corn dog, even if it's not the greatest corn dog ever, in the moment it feels you want it to be the greatest corn dog, because it's, I mean, $6, the profit margins on that corn dog are absurd. But when you're standing out in the heat and you're drinking a Bloody Mary, there's nothing better than the $6 corn dog.
Yeah, no, I can totally. Yeah, buying any kind of concessions at any concert or sporting event does suddenly elevate the flavor, the texture, the whole quality of the product. It is amazing when you get absolutely
and the
butt-fucked.
mixed drinks were only $8. I was like, how does this make any sense? That's what I would expect to pay for a drink, but then I have to pay $6 for a corn dog. So the value play would have just been drinking all day. But
Yeah. Okay. All right. Nice. All right. Gaming this week. Let's start with you, Nikon. Hit me with your best shot.
I got into WoW again, and that's what I'm currently doing right now too. And it's just one of those things, like, I'll play it for a while and then I actually realized when I got back into it, my problem is, like, I'll play an area and then I'll get bored of it. Like, all right, I don't want to play this anymore. But then I remembered you don't have to quest in this area. It's a giant open world, so you can go anywhere. So that's what I did today and kind of ventured around. But other than that, just played some CSGO, got back on the Dark Souls 2 grind as well. And that's about it. Nothing too exciting.
Nice.
Dark Souls 2. If you want to get really mad at yourself, just play that game.
I like watching people play that game, but I don't think I could ever indulge myself. Brandon, what about you?
Gaming wise, I've just been playing CSGO. Had some good games of CSGO. I finally, I actually hadn't played ESEA before, really at all, and I guess I happened to try it right after they released this new matchmaking client, which is really neat. So I enjoyed the few games I played of that, and just playing Hearthstone as normal. Played a few League ARAMs, pretty much my usual. Nothing too out of the ordinary this week.
Yeah, the CS:GO. So for people that didn't know what Brand's referring to, is they have essentially you can queue as 5 for matchmaking. I guess you can do solo as well, I'm assuming too, for matchmaking. But which is cool. So then you get to play obviously on ESEA's 128 servers, and they have that anti-cheat client. Though there was one game, were you in the game that we had the trigger botter and the waller? Yep. Okay, yeah, you were in that game. So that one, anyway, I'm gonna go with what happened was the client was down and their demos weren't recording, or the demo servers were down or whatever. So we had a little bit of luck, but for the most part, yeah, it was really exciting. So that was cool. I mean, I've plugged ESEA for a long time, but get ESEA. It's like $6 a month or something. I think it's like $6.
It's definitely worth it if you play a lot of CS:GO.
If you play a lot, yeah, and you get tired of literally being cheated to matchmaking. The other thing that people always say too about CS:GO is like, you always say people are cheating to matchmaking, but when you realize how cheap Counter-Strike Go is, and if you watch, like, especially even at the higher levels, I don't know how many people watch Shroud or some of the other people that play CS:GO, but people just blatantly cheating that game like crazy. So it's just nice to know that you have the peace of mind of playing. You know what I mean? Like, for the most part, you're probably not going to play against cheaters. So, and if you get destroyed, you're just left with the fact that you got destroyed, and you have to deal with it.
Yeah, most of the people that pay for ESEA, they sort of build up a reputation, and they're playing around a lot of the same people, so they don't take the risks that people buying the game for $5. Like, it's not a big loss if they cheat and get VAC banned.
Yeah, for sure. Nick, what about you?
A little bit of Smite and a lot of Destiny.
Yeah, talk about Destiny, because you weren't on last week and everyone wanted to hear what your take on Destiny was.
If you went into Destiny thinking that everything that Bungie was saying about it was going to be true, then you're probably pretty pissed. But if you like grindy games, then you'll like it. The story is pretty fucking trash. The missions are not varied enough, and there's generally a little bit of lack of just stuff. There needs to be more models for things, for like guns, because they all feel like they all look the same. Generally, shit like that.
Test. Sorry.
Yep.
I-
Yo, you
How am I
sound
sounding?
fine.
Good.
Yeah.
Is it
I don't
popping?
hear that. Let's talk again.
Hello? Hello?
I can't. Is he popping? I don't know.
I don't know, maybe a little bit. When
Maybe
you
a
get
little
into
bit.
something of substance, we'll tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds-
Continue, Nick. I've heard the content in Destiny is thin.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say the game starts at level 20, which is the XP cap, and then you start leveling with stat-based gear. But I've enjoyed the later parts of the game much more than the actual story mission stuff, because that is literally just go somewhere, have fucking Dinklebot scan something, and then you kill people. It's like you just stand there and people come to you. And that is the story.
Like, oh, I'm gonna scan this. Oh, look, a bunch of people came out of nowhere. How
Yeah.
did that happen? And then you have to kill them all.
In terms of the story stuff, it definitely feels like that was a lot of stuff was cut, which is not
To
great.
make release date or
I don't know. I can't say for sure, but it feels that way. I don't know. Or otherwise, like they were just really shitty, and we're gonna hold all the story stuff for DLC, which I also wouldn't put past Activision.
How
I'm
long does
finding
it take to get through? So once like, what is the level cap? 30 right now? Is that
Well,
still
the
true?
the whole cap is 30, but
Or,
like
yeah.
the XP cap is 20, and that's like you usually finish the story by the time you hit 19 or 20, and it took me like 8 or 9 hours, I think. So it's not a whole lot, but I'm at 24 right now, and I've probably spent just as much time getting from 20 to 24. So, because it's just after you're not leveling, you're just getting better gear, and then that
Yeah.
bumps you over the level cap.
Right.
So-
But there's not enough, and then you're just grinding the same. You're just doing the same
You
raids.
do
and
strikes,
things over and
which
over again.
are like 3-person raids essentially, and then
Yeah.
I haven't done the full raid yet, which is 6 people. But yeah, there's not enough strikes because you're just killing the same 6-7 end bosses over and over again.
Just to
Just
farm
with
the gear.
varying them, yeah, just for farming and stuff. But they like you can bump up the difficulty, but the bosses are just bullet sponges. Like they don't really do anything interesting in particular. Just
So
like, in
I'm
general,
not hearing all that hot. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not hearing. A
no,
good-
like from like objectively, I can say this is not a great game, but I'm playing the shit out of it, and that's the way a lot of people are feeling. Apparently, like they can
I'm finding-
understand all of the complaints against it, but it's still a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun with friends, I'm finding, but when I'm by myself, it just feels really grindy. So,
I mean, it's grindy either way, though. Like
It's
you're
Diablo
doing the
esque,
exact
right?
same grind with other people. Yeah, it's more like if you came at this game being like it's an MMO, no, it's more like Diablo. Like everything is instanced, kind of. Well, once you go to like important mission stuff, but I don't know. It's not like there are a couple things that make it similar to an MMO. Like you have dailies and weeklies and shit like that. But no, not an MMO at all.
no.
Basically, if you hyped yourself up for this game for a long time, which you shouldn't have because that's dumb and you'll be disappointed with every game ever, you're probably really not happy with the game right now, and a lot of people are not.
Are they gonna release like? Is there stuff beyond DLC that they're gonna release for like new missions, or is it all gonna be paid content?
I have no idea. They've started unlocking like the raid and stuff, and there's like a new strike,
Okay.
like a nightfall strike or something. I have no idea what that is. I haven't tried it yet, but they do stuff like on the weekends. There's a vendor that will appear around the tower, which is the hub thing, shit like that, and like there'll be weekend multiplayer game modes, stuff like that. So if they keep that shit up with pretty good frequency, I mean that'll help.
Yeah.
Mhm.
but there's
The
definitely
multiplayer is pretty fun too.
yeah, a lot of people are shitting on it, and I'm really liking it. I don't know. I feel like it goes well with because you're using your character,
Hmm.
like and your all your guns and everything. Like it's fun because you're playing your own character rather than being a separate thing. Everything just scales, which I mean, obviously the higher level players are gonna have slight advantages because their guns will have certain modifiers and stuff, but it doesn't feel super cheap to be a lower level.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Overall, I'm enjoying it. Like if I had to give it a out of 10 score right now, like 7, I guess.
So a little above average.
Yeah, like but that's like my personal score too.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm enjoying grinding right now. I
Well,
don't know. Everybody says this game feels like Halo, and I don't get that. I just saw somebody say something about Halo in chat. I don't understand that.
I'll
It
take.
sounds like Halo, and the the gravity is kind of like
All right, you don't know shit. All right,
I was
man.
gonna say Nick's
A lot
played
of-
Nick's played a lot of Halo, so like
It-
I'll take Nick's opinion.
I mean, it's more floaty. It's like it's. I still think it feels like yeah. It's
if
like
you
a
had to find
floaty
another
comedy.
game to compare it to, I think Halo is probably the closest you're gonna get as far as like gunplay and stuff. Like
I-
it's not gonna be
I
like Call of
guess.
Duty or
Yeah,
anything like that. So
sorta. I don't know.
it's definitely
Uh,
not Halo, but if you had to compare it
yeah.
to something, then that's
You
probably
can definitely tell in terms of art style. Kind of it. You can tell it's made by the people that made Halo. At least I can. I don't know. It feels very similar in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's I, and I'm gonna keep playing it. I have like, I'm at least 30 hours in. I think, somewhere around there. So,
Alright.
I'm
Well,
happy
there you
with
go. Anything else besides that? Oh, well, you already said Smite.
it. Smite. Yeah, I think
It's
that's
small.
it.
All right, Dan, take it away. Your turn, and I'll go last.
Well, hopefully my mic is not super poppy anyway. But I have played NHL 15, and that's it. That's like it all week. Actually, I played a good chunk of CS:GO. Pretty much switching to CS:GO after NHL like every night, playing 10 mans with you guys. And of course, this week, well, was it Monday night that game occurred, or was it Tuesday? I forget. We had like the greatest game
It's all a blur still.
of CS:GO.
That whole yeah,
It
that
did
whole
happen
thing.
this past week, but still popping. Okay. We had like the greatest game of CS:GO this week. It went to 5 overtimes. 5
Yes,
overtimes.
78 rounds.
Yes, 78 rounds, 2
I-
hours 13 minutes or something like that.
Jesus,
It was
Uh,
insane.
that's a lot of rounds.
it was incredible. Yeah.
Now you know why they don't do overtime in regular matchmaking, because people would just leave.
They would just leave, dude. So, yeah, Team X Hentai Overlords ended up winning, but you can check out the entire match on KBMOD.com. We have it up in 5 segments because that's how many segments it took to get it up. But yeah, I've been playing NHL Ultimate Team. If you don't know what Ultimate Team is, if you're big into FIFA, you know what it is. FIFA, it's like a way of life. Basically, it combines the horrible addiction of case openings with playing online against people in a sports game. Basically, buy packs. You get players in those packs. Higher rated players are obviously more rare, and so you just try to get them, or you can buy them off the auction house. So, you have to the auction house. You have to use game. You have to use in-game currency. Pucks. It's pucks in no game, but I don't know what it is. FIFA, but you can also trade people. You can do all kinds of stuff. I played wager matches against a viewer. Wagering pucks would win. Like, it's become a horrible addiction. But I am in Division 5 now. There's 10 divisions. It goes 10 is lowest, 1 is highest. There's like 100 some thousand people ranked, and only 2,000 are in Division 5, and then Division 1 has 100 some people in it. So trying to work my way up. I haven't come across any like cheesy goal stuff or like cheats or anything like that. But man, a laggy game in that is the worst possible situation, because you can't. If you back out, if you're the one who backs out of that laggy game, then you take a loss. So it's like, I'm just gonna. So if I come up,
How does the lag manifest itself?
It'll be like the game will appear to be running at like 5 FPS,
Wow.
basically.
Oh,
And like
10 out of 10.
yeah, it does. To be honest, I've only had 3 of those ever in like 50 or 60 games. But, 3 is too many, frankly. Should go better. But like it'll do where, you'll move around and then the game will just freeze for a second, hitch, and then keep going and then hitch and then keep going and then hitch and then keep going. So then the whole game is like that, but I never ever back out because like it's 15 minutes to play a game. So I just like, I just go with it, and usually if they disconnect, then I get the win anyway. So it doesn't matter. You can also play against the computer, but then you'd be a little bitch. So don't be a bitch. Play against other people. But yeah,
Are you spending like real money on it, or is it all in-game currency that you like?
Yes,
don't
I
talk?
am, and I'm not going to disclose the amount I've spent so far on packs.
There we go.
I have had donations just for me to do packs. Like,
Yep.
people,
That's
it's just like
what
CS:GO.
happens. Yep. It's too much.
So, I mean, it's just like NHL, I love hockey, so I love playing the game. It's just not, if I played FIFA, I think, viewership-wise, I'd probably be through the roof if it was FIFA, which isn't out yet, but FIFA is just, that shit is so
How long has FIFA been doing the same thing with the packs? Is that 2
Hockey
games now?
have only had it for last year and this year, I think.
Okay.
But FIFA's had it for a while, I want to say.
Yeah.
I haven't owned FIFA in a while, but I used to watch Trout's Ultimate Team videos a lot.
Yeah.
He does a really good job with it. But it is a horrible, crippling addiction now. Like, just like Cases. It's the exact same thing, just like Hearthstone. Like, it's crazy. People are just like, here's $10, open packs with this. Once the packs get opened. NHL 15 though, I gotta say, EA, could you have put out a glitchier, like the menus glitch all the time to the point where I have to close the game, like in the menus. Nothing in the actual gameplay is broken, but like, I mean, like it clearly was half baked, which I think you're gonna see. Just like Nick was talking about Destiny probably getting content cut to make date. Like, I feel like that was probably the case. I feel like that's probably the case.
Didn't NHL also remove content?
All of their
They didn't
Like,
make it in. They didn't
A
make
lot
it
of
in.
their content?
Yeah, they rebuilt the
Even
game.
stuff that they've done before? Like, oh, yes, yeah, if you're rebuilding it completely.
They rebuilt it from the ground up. Yeah. The hockey is better than it's ever been. Like, the physics and everything are incredible in the game. It feels like you're actually playing hockey. But everything else, yeah, they stripped out like 15 game modes, Nick.
Yeah.
Like, most of it I didn't care about, to be honest. They have GM mode and they have Ultimate Team. That's all I really care about. But I would still buy the new gen version over the old. The old gen one has all the stuff in it, but it isn't the new one. So, also I hit 90 in WoW today, so that finally people could stop harassing me. I hit 90.
How many total hours do you think you have in that game?
Wait.
Oh, they just on that tune.
I don't even want to know what my total hours in WoW are. Probably 10,000 total, like all time, but like probably more than that actually. I have a character with 300 days, but this 90.
That's
probably,
only 416 days. That's probably a low estimate.
Yeah. I think this 90 took 5 days played. I had no heirlooms on her, and she was leveled in classic WoW leveling. It's a really old character that I just finished. So I rolled that character in Burning Crusade, so she had to level through the old 1 to 60 content, which was horribly slow. That character, probably 6 years old, as far as like, but yeah, Kurt Crafterson. But I've been really into CS:GO since that game. Like,
Got good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like, well, like, I can shoot better now than I used to be able to. I talked about this last week, but that nothing video has really helped. Like,
The spray control one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's really good. I still don't practice what he preaches, but yes, it's actually.
I have a really hard time with
solid.
the AK, still.
Yeah.
But with the M4, man, I'm in there with the silenced one. Do pretty damn good with. Yeah, if I could just play NHL and CS:GO for forever at this point, I probably.
Nice.
So.
All right, and I'll close it off. Obviously CS:GO, playing a lot of that. Still opening fucking tons of cases. I will also won't disclose how much I've spent, but let me tell you, it's not near as much as Hardballer. So
No, it's.
I know for a
fine.
fact Hardballer spent over $2,000 on cases.
Oh my god.
Already. So yeah, a lot of CS:GO, and same slowly improving at the rate that I would like it to go, because when I'm streaming, like, I'm not actually. People always are like, oh, what an excuse. But when like you're streaming a game like that and you're also trying to interact, and Dan, you probably know too, streaming
it's
a lot on
hard.
Nikon and stuff, like it's hard to like if you take your concentration off for a second or you're not super focused, it's, I don't know. I have a problem with that. But if I can focus, I can do well, and I still have a long ways to go. But I'm having fun with Go, because slowly but surely starting to get a hang of it, because it is such a different game than Source or 1.6. But I've been playing. I beat Fear. I'm only 10 years late to that. I beat Fear recently, and I really had fun actually playing through that. I don't like it got. I guess Fear got pretty good reviews when it came out. I don't know if it didn't win Game of the Year or anything anywhere, but I was looking back and it got pretty good reviews. And I don't know. I just thought that the combat in that game, I was actually really hoping this will never probably not happen, and I could probably download mods to have it like higher textures and all that stuff. But the combat in that game is like fucking incredible. And at least in the first one, holds up. And I haven't played 2 yet.
Wait, we're talking about
But,
Fear 1, right?
About Fear 1, yeah.
You know,
the-
Jared
just
did
the
like a
combat.
bunch of the art in that game.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
did
level
2.
Oh,
He
was
has
it
level
2?
design.
Oh.
He has
Yeah, I
level
think he
design
did
credits
2.
in 1. Level design in 1. He has credits for that. Yeah, so I tweeted him afterwards. I was like, dude, Fear 1 is a fucking masterpiece. And the story and stuff was really cool, and the ending in that game is really, really awesome. And then I started playing the expansions as well. I'm just going to try to play them in order. I don't know if I'll play 3, because everyone says 3 blows giant dick. So
Pretty
I'm
Three
yeah.
was pretty mediocre.
They're saying it really
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
like
really
not even in
middle
the
of the road.
spirit of the series or anything either. It's just like combat.
Yeah, they were
Um,
just grabbing for anything to push sales.
Yeah,
It's co-op now. Okay.
nice. Well, at the end, and I'm even noticing. So there was a different studio that developed the expansions, and the first one I'm playing, which is Extraction Point, like it's just there's some cool they do some cool spoopy things here and there, but like the actual combat, which made the combat so fun in the first one, is that the enemies for the most part didn't just stand there. They were like they had decent AI, and you could get killed pretty fast even on normal difficulty if there were a lot of them, and they would like jump for cover, and the weapons and stuff were cool. And in this, like already in the expansion, like I don't know, like they just stand still. None of them really try to flank or do anything. So it's like there's no challenge. The whole level design and everything feels kind of off. So, but I'm hearing the Perseus, I think that's how you say it, or I'm not sure. The Mandate one, Perseus Mandate or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is the next expansion, is actually really good, and people say it's actually really, really scary. So I don't know. I'm gonna try that and then try Fear 2. Trying to think besides that. I think that's it for me as far as it's those 2 games. Yeah, that's it for me.
All right, a little bit of KBMOD announcements before we take a little break. Titty did his 24-hour live stream, which got cut short last night. He of course streams for us. You should check him out. He does Dark Souls challenge run, plays CS:GO. Tends to stream on Saturdays normally, but he did his 24-hour live stream for Extra Life last night. You guys helped him beat his goal of $100, so he got over that. So thanks for anyone who came out to support that. Of course, our event is October 24th through the 26th. Live Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Exciting, tourist attraction filled Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. But October 24th through the 26th, put it on your calendars. The team is already at $126,000 raised. Children's hospitals. Once again, we did it last week, but big shout outs to the Mindcrack community for going absolutely ham last weekend on that stuff. Big prizes. I'm gonna hammer this every week, until we get to Extra Life. We have a one PC build at least, possibly another one coming on the way. We have a Corsair 300R and a CX650 power supply we'll be giving away. We also have a Wii U with a few games and 4 controllers. So, and as always, we have a bajillion video games to give away. Our spreadsheet is still had a lot left from last year still, and we've gotten a lot of donations for games. So you can send them in. Yes, to admin@kbmod.com. So Brandon can make this ever-expanding spreadsheet continue to grow. Next weekend, on Saturday the 27th, we're going to be having a crowdfunding stream on this channel to try to get some of the California boys, mainly these gentlemen on this phone call right now, out to LAN. So we'll be doing that. We'll plan some games with them, hopefully, and get something going on this channel next Saturday. So that is it. We're going to take a quick commercial break. It's going to be a little longer one because I'm going to try to fix this mic problem. And we'll be back. Okay. Well,
You may want to check your sound card because it sounds like it's a
Yeah, it almost sounds
buffer
like
problem.
like not your mic, like it's
Okay.
picking up something else.
because I changed the
I don't
mic
know.
completely. So
Yeah,
No, I don't.
think
It's not a mic issue. It's your sound card. It's like buffering. What do you have? One of the Fosrite ones or whatever, right?
no, this would only be the sound.
Sound card. Or is that something
Asus
it's-
Zonar one.
Go to your preferences for that and see if there's a.
I'm turning
Like-
down my line in volume.
No, it's not going to be anything like that. It's going to be like something in your preferences that you can adjust. Like on mine. Sometimes they just act up and you have to change stuff. See,
'Cause it doesn't.
so like you might want to check your sample rate, make sure it's not, you didn't like change it randomly to like 96K, and then also your buffer size, like it can either be a number or like a certain number of milliseconds. You may want to set it to a higher one.
I mean, I don't think it's the mixer.
No, it wouldn't be the mixer. That's not the, it wouldn't cause that kind of sound issue.
I switched the whole mic out too.
It sounds like an analog to digital conversion issue.
Control panel. Did this last week and then it stopped.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna use the restroom. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
It's not fucking fun.
Because, like, I don't see... It's only when I'm talking to. Because I'm not in OBS, there's nothing when I'm not talking. So,
Well, that's because it doesn't have much noise to like the transcode.
clicked on sound 4 times now. Great. Windows. Best.
Do you have a specific control panel for your sound device?
Yeah, I'm in it, but there's none of the options you
Mm.
suggested. Let me see which input this thing plugged into.
It's riveting content.
Yep.
Man.
We should get some APL nubile stories in the chat.
Best. Best. I can see. Okay, line in. What do I
You
have?
sound okay, right? Like right at the second, I don't hear any of it.
Me. It's on 2-channel, 16-bit, 44-100.
Yeah, that should not be causing an issue.
I maybe change the port.
And Sean, has he used that device before?
I don't think so.
Mm.
But maybe I should. I mean, it hadn't done this before, so.
Yeah.
Does it seem fine now, Brandon?
It's hard to say, but like, it comes and goes. It seems like.
Damn it. Alright, well, let me.
We can just power through it.
Yeah, that's fine. Alright, news. Scott's going to talk for a lot on this one anyway, so I may not need to. Yes, we were back for the news, and let me actually change that timestamp, because no, it's totally wrong. So, the big piece of news this week, of course, is Minecraft. We commented on this rumor last week, which is what it was when we did this podcast last week. Minecraft has been purchased by Microsoft, of all people, for $2.5 billion. And Notch is really emo.
So loud.
So let me. Can I start?
Yeah, go ahead and
talk.
start. Yeah, kick it
First
off.
of all,
Kick it off.
I don't think this means anything for Minecraft at all. Personally, this is my personal feeling. What baffled me the most about this transaction, and a lot of people were trying to give me reasons why I was wrong on this, but I don't know why Microsoft did this. There is $2.5 billion that Microsoft should have spent to maybe figure out what their own business is doing. They're floundering in the mobile space. Windows 8 was a disaster in every way. Surface is tanking. No one really uses it. Good device, actually. Surface 3. But, Xbox, actually not doing that well. Xbox One's launch was a disaster.
Nope.
They could have spent 2.5 billion maybe to make Windows Phone a relevant thing, or at least attempt to. Like, I just think there's more pressing issues for Microsoft out there than buying Mojang. Like, I don't understand it from a business perspective on Microsoft's end. That's what I don't understand. As far as the game, like, I don't really have a stake in Minecraft, but I don't know.
I hope it fucking burns. No, I'm just kidding. I need to be objective.
But that's my
No,
feeling.
yeah.
Is like, I don't understand it from Microsoft's point of view. That's what I don't understand.
I mean, I don't know.
I,
Yeah,
take a
well,
lot
you're
to
saying for
make
the
up
price
that.
they bought it for? What if they bought it for less than that? What if they bought it for like a
still
billion?
like Microsoft needs to fix itself. It doesn't need to go buying other things. Like, Microsoft is clearly third fiddle right
Well,
now.
they're
to-
floundering so much they're just buying other things that are successful in the
Like,
hopes that
Microsoft, Google, and Apple. That's kind of like the trio that's all versus one another, and
Yeah.
fighting for the enterprise space, fighting for mobile, like things way outside gaming, obviously. But Microsoft is clearly third, like, and it's not even remotely close. Google and Apple are 1 and 2, and mobile is the thing.
Yeah.
We're a PC gaming channel, obviously. The power you can get in a PC, you can't get that in a phone or anything right now. But for the normal person, a lot of people game on phones. Phones are everywhere. that is the space you want to be in, and Windows Phone is clearly a piece of shit right now. And like that would be, if I was Microsoft's thing, I need to fix Windows, the operating system, and I need to fix Windows Phone.
Yeah, but like that's a whole different division of Microsoft.
But that's
like, that's not even
$2.5 billion.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
Mojang?
they have 85 billion in cash
They have a lot
on
of
hand.
money.
I know.
So
but
like
it's
there's a compelling argument to be made that this is just a smart transaction because
buy a
Mojang will make
successful
them.
company.
Mojang is profitable. They'll make
Haven't
them.
they
they'll make,
estimated that they'll earn the 2.5 billion back within a year, essentially? Like,
I don't think anyone estimated they would earn it back within a year, but it's better than that money sitting in the bank.
True.
And like, here's the thing: I think that they're Mark made a good point in chat, which I agree
Yeah,
with. It's like
saw that.
it's about merchandise and culture. Minecraft's like if you, I'm talking anecdotally from stories and things that I've read, but like Minecraft is all of the rage with young kids. That's every single young kid knows about Minecraft. Like that's what they talk about at school. They mess around with Minecraft with their friends. They want Minecraft T-shirts and lunchboxes and all of that. Like I think Minecraft is kind of like the Legos of our generation.
True.
And I think buying that, Microsoft has a lot to gain just from having their logo at the bottom of like Minecraft boxes or something. Like the fact that kids might associate Minecraft, which they already know about, with Microsoft, and the fact that Microsoft can pay $2.5 billion for kids to know what Microsoft is, or like just understand it, like Microsoft is involved with this thing they really like, that's probably worth the money they're paying. I don't think it's like I don't know that I think Mojang is worth $2.5 billion, but like it doesn't seem like the worst idea from Microsoft's end. And it seems like Mojang wants to cash out anyway. So
Well, the founders of Mojang cash out.
It's basically they spent $2 billion on advertising for a really long time because Minecraft isn't going anywhere. Versus how much do they spend for like a Super Bowl ad or something like that? They can
well, like Minecraft, I think that Microsoft has a legit chance to make Minecraft like sort of the de facto, I don't know, like de facto thing that Windows comes with. Like how crazy would it be if Windows 9 just comes bundled with Minecraft? And
That would be
now
kind of
like
crazy, actually.
now like Minecraft becomes like solitaire and hearts
Like
and stuff.
Minesweeper. Yeah.
Right. And it's just
That'd
like
be interesting.
now that becomes the value out of Windows. I don't know. These are just like crazy ideas that it
Brandon,
seems
stop
like could
giving
help.
them great ideas. That's a great idea.
Like I think what you say about them failing in the mobile space is actually super relevant here because they like Minecraft helps them gain back some of that cultural relevance that they're losing.
True.
So like maybe this helps them get there, and it doesn't hurt that the company is insane, like is really profitable and stuff already.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering. Someone mentioned like if they paid $2.5 billion, who were they bidding against? That seems like a
Yeah,
really high price if
like,
they were the
true,
only
too.
person offering.
I mean, not, the relevance of this right now, but, like, who were they bidding?
Guys,
Like,
should
I
we
don't
just
see-
make the confession? Guys, we've held this up long enough. Can we just confess that we put in the bid for 2.4 billion and Microsoft beat us out? I feel like the charade has gone on long enough. Let's just lay it down. We really wanted.
We were like one of those eBay bidders that bids, $100,000 on this collectible memorabilia
Yeah.
and just hopes they don't win.
with zero chance. They're like, who is this KBMOD again? Do they have that much capital? We're like, yes, we do.
Don't look into us. Just,
Don't look into us. Just driving up the price for Microsoft.
no, but, like, that's interesting. I didn't even think of
No, that's a good
bringing that
thought.
up,
That's
but,
really
like,
true, Brandon.
Who were
Yeah.
they bidding against, though? Who would have, like, because I don't see Google
don't know.
buying Mojang. I just don't see that.
No, you don't think they were interested at all?
I
I
really
don't-
Google's interested in everything.
They
Why
are
wouldn't they?
interested in everything. They are. Like, you're truly
Yeah.
right there. They buy what they want, no matter whether it
But
seems
the one
relevant or
thing,
not,
one
but-
thing I don't think they're super interested in is games. Like I don't think they
Yeah.
haven't really made any play to like own game studios or really push, the development of games.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think games are games are on Android, but that's all peripheral to Google. They don't seem to have a whole bunch of interest in actually
mean,
making them.
Apple
Microsoft
just,
actually like doesn't seem like a bad in terms of people that would want to own Minecraft. Like Microsoft makes sense It's like, why not control that and maybe like prove to some people that they can be good stewards of a
Yeah.
really community heavy game like that. Like I think maybe it's a chance for them to sort of relate with this younger generation that does own iPhones and Android and stuff. It's like maybe this is their way to influence some of that mind share. I don't know.
Yeah, anytime I'm around my nieces, well, my nieces don't really play Minecraft as much, but my nephews, all of them will have either an iPhone, like an iPod Touch, something like that, an iPad. They're always playing it, or they're watching Minecraft on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny because I'll be like, "Oh, Captain Sparkles, I know that guy," and they're like, "Oh," and to them he's like a celebrity or something. And but yeah, they're just always doing that, or they're talking about it, and I can have conversations with them
It's
about
truly
Minecraft for
cultural.
hours.
I mean, that I'm not denying. I just didn't really. Brandon has changed my opinion, honestly, with some of the things he said. But I just think Microsoft has problems that. But
I think they're also. I was just one more thing I was going to say is I think they are more and more trying to become, or they are trying to learn to become a company that embraces multi-platform, and because they sort of have to, right? Like they're putting Office on iOS. Like they have to start embracing the fact that not everyone uses Windows, not everyone is going to use Windows Phone. So I think maybe Minecraft is a good step in that direction of like trying to understand how do we be as successful as this thing that is on every single platform, and what does that mean for Microsoft's future?
I mean, there was also the rumor. Scott is brooding right now, but he really wants to hop in here. But there's also
I'm holding it in. It's fine.
The rumor of them testing the Xbox interface within web browsers. And the ability to play Xbox games in the web browser. And as Capsar told us way back in the day, these apps are already in development for Sony and Microsoft. These apps that will become consoles, where it's just an app you launch and then the game is streamed to you. That is the future. That is the future of games. Whether PC gamers, the ones who like the most power, whether we like it or not, that's going to be a thing that's going to happen. So, I mean, yeah, they do need to diversify platforms for sure. All right, Scott.
So, I mean, yeah, the angle, you guys covered the actual business angle of it. I don't give a fuck about the business angle. You guys know that I have taken issue with with Notch's, he likes to go on Twitter and he likes to be the white knight of the small indie developer that, became a hit and not sell out. And, he made a lot of people are very upset for multiple reasons that he decided to sell and he's leaving the studio and the company he started and all this kind of stuff. And I mean, I don't like to relish in people's misery, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little fucking pumped. I fucking love this. As I read this PC Game article that you linked like 40 times, I've read every comment. And I am like a pig in mud right now with this because this is the thing. I don't wish ill will on anyone. I mean, he made a cult classic. Like very few people can say that. But I have to give Notch credit because if you go and read the article and you read his statement of what he said, he says this at the beginning. He says, "I don't see myself as a real game developer. He makes basement games. It's fun. Blah blah blah." He said, and then he says, I don't want to try to change the world, right? He says that, and then, he goes on Twitter, and he makes a big deal out of when people, want to advertise on Minecraft and do all this kind of stuff about how he's so above that.
The Facebook Oculus thing?
The Facebook Oculus thing. There's so many examples of him being, on Twitter or being very outspoken about, how he called Microsoft. What was his one quote? He called Microsoft. Oh, there's so many of them. But he said they were part of the problem. How about they fix Windows 8 or something like that? I mean, there's been a lot of different things. But I have to say, he summed it up so perfectly in a statement. At the end, at the very end of the statement, he says, "I'm not a CEO. I'm a nerdy computer programmer who likes to have opinions on Twitter." And to be honest, that is exactly what Notch is. And he admitted to it. And I can't be upset. I have to say, hats off. You've made some mistakes here and there.
Because
Fedora
that has had a choice.
that's true. Fedora offs to him because he did own up to it, and also, but this is also a good warning. I mean, and I don't think there's really any kind of template for someone that makes something like this and then blows up a game like Minecraft. It's a hard thing to deal with, and obviously, he's an opinionated person, and he had some very specific things about how he thinks the internet should be more open and all that kind of stuff. Not just the internet, but programming and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's fine. But also, hold on, wait a minute. I need to read this. There is a comment on here from guest on here that I have to read. And Mark, do you have any sad music that you'd be able to play through Skype or no?
I actually have one that's called Sad Music. You ready?
Okay, hold on. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
You let me know if it's too loud or not.
Yeah, I will. Perfect. Okay. This is from guest, and he says, what would have happened if Gandhi had stepped down when he started to become a symbol of peace?
I'm done.
What would have happened if Steve Jobs stooped working in computer when personal computer becomes something? When you become a symbol, you just can't quit the job, you have to bear it. When you are a symbol affecting millions of people, you can't just say, well, that's too much for me, see ya. It's not only your life, but it's also the life of millions of people inspired by you. When you say Microsoft is one of the worst company and then sell yourself to Microsoft, you ruin everything. Lots of people like me thought Notch had strong opinions against big corporation like Microsoft, especially when he say things like, got an email from Microsoft wanting to help certify Minecraft for Windows 8. I told them to stop trying to ruin the PC as an open platform. Now he is selling himself to Microsoft. What people are supposed to believe, I don't even know what I should believe. Does opinions worth nothing at all? And only Dosh make a difference? Is everyone for sale? What if Hitler had enough money to pay the Americans during World War II? For millions of people, life has become even more dark and sad today. No joke. That is verbatim. That is fucking verbatim off of the PC Gamer article. You can't make this shit up. You cannot.
All right. Let me.
Verbatim.
I don't want to bring this back to not hilarious, but my initial reaction to Notch saying this shit was sort of in that vein, but not in those, like, not in the same way where he's like a figurehead. But it's more like, you have made this giant thing, right? And you have become a symbol. And, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people who don't like being in that position. Look at Phil Fish. Like, Phil Fish, yeah, he sits.
Do we have to?
No, we don't have to. But the video that was put out about Phil Fish and about the culture of famous people on Twitter and being able to have an opinion is totally right. That video is 100% correct, by the way.
That's true.
And the fact is, like, Notch couldn't handle it, basically. Like that's what he's saying. I can't handle this.
No, totally.
And admitting that is kind of cool.
That's what I'm saying. That's
my initial reaction was also, though, like, you do actually have a responsibility, though, like, to me. And, like, you can't put that down now. Even though you don't work for Mojang anymore, you are still the dude who invented Minecraft. You're a giant celebrity, whether you like it or not, at this point.
Because he also embraced that culture himself. I mean, he as much as he'd like to say that, you know, it's not about the fame or the big deal. I mean, he threw huge parties, and he was kind of, you know, he became friendly with a bunch of celebrities, as you do when you make a lot of money. And there's nothing wrong with that. But like you're saying, Dan, that doesn't also mean that you can just go on the other side and be like, I'm done with it. I'm done. I'm going back to my basement. It doesn't work like that.
Let's be real. Okay, Dalesy, you're 100% correct in chat here. If you think Notch is giving up Minecraft for sanity alone, you're naive. He also made $1.5 billion of the $2.5 billion. He had 70% something stake.
Isn't it so easy to say it's not about the money when it's $1.5 billion?
Well, it's real easy to be like, I'm walking away from my sanity when I can just sit there and lay in a pile of money. Like, it's like when I'm set for generations in my family, if you know.
It's really easy to say whatever you want to because you have $1.5 billion and you can say, I don't give a shit what anyone else thinks of me at this point because I'm rich.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, man, if I got that much money today, fuck off. Like, who cares at that point? You can do whatever you want, literally, at that point. He is set forever.
Yeah.
So to me, yes, he put out this quote-unquote heartfelt
totally no
thing,
I'm not I'm totally not excusing him responsibility, but yeah, like, I mean, it was good that at least, you know what, I would have been even more salty if he hadn't even said that, like, listen, man, I'm just a really opinionated computer programmer, you know what I mean? Or like, the fact that he said that, I'm a little less salty. And to be honest, really, at the end of the day, like I feel like I'm done with this. Like I'm done with the issue more. Not that I was really ever mad before, but now I'm like truly like it's whatever. It's a moot issue. Notch can go back to working on his little web things that he wants to work on, and we hopefully don't have to hear him on his high horse, because I think
No,
his
you
high
will.
horse, to be honest, has been cut its head been
No,
cut off, and it's being
he
served
will-
as glue.
Like, he will go away, and then he'll come back and say something,
No, you know,
Ugh.
and everybody will cover it. And
you're
it'll be
100%
great.
right, Nick. Something will happen a la the Facebook Oculus
Yeah,
thing,
yeah,
and he
you're right.
will comment on it, and then immediately there will be a PC Gamer article on the Notch tweet about
Yeah.
whatever.
Yep.
And like,
It ain't over.
yeah, he
All
can't.
all I know about this is that it's just really surprising that the person that threw a party with Skrillex DJing it wants a quiet life now. So I mean, that's pretty crazy, right? Guys, I
Like-
just can't handle this all.
Yeah.
Yo, Skrill, you want to come DJ my party? All right, cool.
Nice.
So
I
that
kind of
happened.
admire his honesty in a way. Like he's being, it seems like he's being really forthright, saying exactly what he intends to do now, which is like he doesn't want to keep running it, he doesn't want to be part of it. But it's also like I kind of agree that it's really easy to say that when you literally don't ever have to work again. But I think like in this case, I feel like that's like you're sort of wasting this opportunity you have to continue being this inspiration to a lot of people, like to young kids, to aspiring game developers. Like you don't have to answer that call, but I think there is like you did this thing, right? Even if you don't understand it, you are this celebrity. You have this influence over people. Like you can do some really awesome stuff with that.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously he doesn't have that cash sitting, like he's not done with it yet. But like I would love to see him like if he decides he wants to go do game jams, like he should start hosting game jams, right? Start funding game jams at universities and stuff. Like I hope that he actually tries to continue being like a positive influence, because he does have a lot of these opinions, and he can actually make those opinions mean something in a way that like normal people like us can't.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or he'll rudely order pizzas. That's his put in the chat. So that was the biggest news. And to be honest, when the rumor hit, I was shocked not because of who was buying or whatever. It was just like that was completely out of nowhere. There was there was no like
people were pretty solid on keeping that under, like on both sides.
like when you look at like
Not
Twitch, the rumblings were around for months. Like little things here and there, people had heard whatever. This was just like, hey, my Mojank's being bought for a couple bill. Like, oh, okay, cool. That was out of nowhere. So they kept it under wraps quite well.
I think I saw a rumor tweet like a tweet like an hour before, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's Twitch all over again." Then an hour later, it's like announced, like, "Oh
yeah." Phil Spencer did come out. For those who are worried, or those who may play on platforms that aren't Microsoft platforms, Microsoft just come out and straight away and said, Minecraft development on all platforms will continue as normal. So no worries for people who play on PlayStation, or mainly Sony problems would be the big one. Sony platforms, would be the big one affected there if Microsoft decided to go exclusive.
That would be the worst thing they could do, though.
Yeah,
so they won't do that.
That would be ridiculous. So, yeah, that was the big news. And then we had some other huge news. This had some rumblings around it, though. Nvidia has revealed its two newest video cards, the 970 and the 980. Both are absolute monsters. Slotting in the 970 beats everything but the 780 currently on Nvidia's side, and it's only going to be $350 for a 970. So you can have 780-esque performance for $350. The 980 beats even the 780 Ti and everything but the 295 X2.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Was it really surprising that Nvidia announced the 970 and 980?
Well, a little bit, yeah.
It kind of was, because they had initially there were rumblings that might not, like the next generation of their cards might not launch until next year.
Yeah.
Which to be frank was like kind of a ridiculous thing to think, but that rumor was out there that it might get pushed. So it is kind of surprising. Also, it's surprising that why did they skip the 800 series? I don't understand what like this is just going to be one more confusing thing in the tale of video card history where you're going to be like, "Oh, I had a 700 series and then I had a 900 series," and no one's going to realize that this 800 series just never happened.
It just
Like
didn't
what
exist.
what is the marketing hype behind that? What is the point?
Yeah, like it wasn't as surprising that this 900 series is coming, Nick. It was more that they were on sale now. Like it was just like because all I had heard was
Suppose.
early 2015. That was what I had heard for whatever new cards they were coming out with.
Yeah, the rumors that it was going to come out like right now were only started like in the past couple of weeks. Before that, it was assumed it would be like maybe Q1 2015 or maybe like later in Q4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
So
real
they-
sad about those
I think they
rumors.
definitely one-upped AMD. Like I think they kind of caught
We-
AMD by
we
surprise
also
because now
don't-
AMD is like they're not competitive at any price point right now.
We have no 960, 950 announced or 990 at the moment. So these are the only two cards announced. The 980 at $550 though. Yes, that's a lot of money, but it's kind of a bargain. Like in some
Well,
ways.
both are like even though they are a lot of money, they're huge bargains compared to what the previous generations were offering. Like the 780 Ti was a ludicrous price. The AMD
650
top
or
end
something.
cards are ludicrous prices. So this is basically bringing all of that down to like more reasonable levels. I mean, I don't know if a lot of people that are newer to gaming won't remember when like the top end cards were $500 and the most expensive card you could get was $500 and it was like that's a lot of money, but that's $500 is not breaking the bank for an enthusiast.
No.
But this is sort of like bringing that reality back where you can spend $500 and have more or less the best card around. And that 970 in that $300 range, like that resets the whole market.
But it's the 970 for real is like we'll be doing new build guides soon, based off of this announcement. But the 970 is like to me that is the video card to get, straight up. It's better than anything AMD has for 350 or under, and it's better than any of the current 700 Nvidia cards, except for the ludicrously priced 780 Ti, which is $650. So it is in a mid-range type of price at 350. Again, that's a good chunk of money still, but man, that performance.
Should I upgrade
crazy.
my 6970 and get that if I'm looking?
Well,
You absolutely should.
yes, you absolutely should.
Okay.
Unquestionably.
Because I am looking to.
You should throw your 6970 away. And
Wow.
get this.
Okay. Let's not
Yeah,
go
depending
crazy.
on which one you want to get. The 980 Scott gets like double my 7970 6GB card. Double
Really?
the frames.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jesus. Okay.
For less.
Yeah,
money
we'll
than I paid at
hopefully
launch.
update our build guides because this is a pretty
Huge
substantial change in like what you can get for your money, and it'll change a lot of our guides.
The 980.
Can we also? Yeah.
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Mine's
ahead.
gonna be off the beaten
ahead.
track, so
Go ahead.
go first.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah,
Go ahead. Anyone? You go ahead.
We're very
No,
good
just,
at podcasting.
Just go before me, and then I'll go after you because mine's gonna be off the beaten path.
Yeah, the 980.
Hey, anyone want to go ahead?
Damn it. The 980 at near 4K resolutions is getting 100 frames a second on BF4 at Ultra. So,
Jesus.
like, that's
Okay.
That's ridiculous, actually. I mean, that shouldn't happen. The last gen cards were getting around 30 FPS, like in that kind of
It
scenario.
has to be
like,
aliens. That's the only explanation. Aliens for this kind of jump. That's it, Brandon. That actually makes sense why they wouldn't have the 800. The aliens said, "This is our technology, and you will jump to 900. We're not doing 800, and this is it, man." Just like with the God.
We make the jump. So yeah, insanity.
What I was gonna say is, so I tweeted a couple weeks ago that I realized that I was using video card drivers from 2011 on the 6970, and can you tell me how incredible it is that I was streaming constantly with those video card drivers, and this did not crash. It did not crash my PC once. The only time it crashed was when I went on Facebook. Listen, this is no joke. I replicated this 3 times. I would go on Facebook, and you know when you hover over videos that auto plays, if it's like a Facebook uploaded one, it crashed 3 times in a row, and I was like, what is going on? And I looked at the driver, and it was the goddamn. I don't know why. For some reason, that is what crashed it. But anyway, that's why I kind
Facebook
of have
videos using technology that your GPU cannot compute.
cannot handle it. It just crashed my PC 3 times. So anyway, I don't know. That's why I'm a little attached to the 6970. It really, it's a workhorse. So what can you do?
But yeah, Scott, for you especially, given that
Yeah.
you're 2 generations behind now,
Yeah.
this
do
is
it.
going to be like,
Like night and
a
day,
whole new world
probably.
for you.
Excited.
This would upgrade me. It would get double the FPS that I get in most games right now. I have a pretty monster card, although I don't really need, frankly. That's why I said when we were talking before the cast, I'm kind of. Oh, sorry, Brandon. I kind of am gonna wait till Witcher 3. That's my plan. Is just wait till Witcher 3, see what it runs like on my card. If I feel like I really do want it in a higher quality, or I need more frames in that game, then I'll buy a new card, because that is the next game to me that's gonna destroy everybody's system. The Witcher 3 at a higher ultra quality, even at 1080p, is gonna be just an absolute monster to try to run. So that's kind of my way. Although I was about to say before the cast, but held off on it. My 7970, one of the fans is shorting out, and that sucks. So now I have a 7970 which generates a shitload of heat with only one fan. So
Well, fuck the fans.
Oh, what convenient timing.
yeah, what convenient timing for that to die. It's so weird. Nvidia put some freaking virus in my fans.
Aliens. Aliens. Oh.
Well, I'm clearly going to be buying the 780 for the CUDA cores, and what a nice perk
The
that
980,
it gets.
you mean?
Or yeah, the 980. Sorry, and what a nice perk that it'll get. I can run everything on ultra and get plenty of
everything
frames
that's
and all
out,
that stuff.
Just
It's like,
eats alive. Like, it's not even close.
I mean, I don't need those FPS. I need the CUDA cores. That's what I'm telling my wife. But that's how I'm justifying that business expense. But
The 970 is going to make that Fear expansion I'm playing through look really, really sick.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to that. It's going to be great.
and League of Legends is going to run really good
It's
at
gonna run
60
good.
FPS.
CSGO. Maybe I'll get
CS:GO
1,000 frames instead of 500 now. or
CS:GO,
whatever.
like, with everything turned down. Because
Yeah,
that's what
exactly.
we do.
That's what I'm saying. That's the other thing. That's why I'm honestly that's hesitant, because I like playing CS:GO. It's like I already get like 300-400 frames. So it's like, where am I going to see it? But I guess it's for playing other games and stuff like that. I would max stuff out. That
So,
makes sense.
couple sort of shorter things. I wanted to bring up this. I just saw this story today. Oculus Rift has come out with a new prototype called Crescent Bay. And there's a PC Gamer article on it. It goes pretty in depth. But basically, they said it's a bigger leap than Development Kit 2 was over Development Kit 1. Development Kit 2 introduced HD screens to it, and the screen door effect was still there that people talk about, but it wasn't as bad. But apparently, this is the first one where people lose themselves in it. And what I mean by that is the way the writer described it is that Crescent Bay, you forget that you're sitting in a chair with a controller. And he says it's the first one that made him not even feel like he wasn't in anything but the VR experience. That's like somewhat scary in some ways.
Yeah.
But there were a bunch of Unreal 4 demos in it, and I think it's higher res than 1080. I'm trying to find here, but
what's the refresh rate? Wasn't it like 90 right now or something?
it's higher. It's higher than 90 hertz. So maybe at 120, that'd be the next sort of.
Or no, he said that Carmack said like 90 is when most people don't notice the hertz, but he wants to do at least 120 as the goal.
The demos were running at 90 hertz on high-end systems using the new Nvidia graphics cards. Oculus keeps making it better, but properly running a game in stereoscope at a high resolution at 90 hertz, you need a hell of a PC. Basically, you need a monster system. You're driving 2 HD screens running the same game. Yeah. But this is kind of a huge leap, and obviously the Facebook money has given them a lot more resources to work with. They're hiring friggin' everybody. I swear it's like every week there's a new high-profile game person going to Oculus.
Yeah, I'd like to announce I'm actually working for Oculus now. So.
But like that's crazy that you actually forget that you're wearing.
Yeah,
a
that's
headset
exciting. And reading
in it.
this article, I didn't see it, so you just put it on here. But that actually makes me really excited.
So
What
make you
do we know?
excited
What?
or frightened because you know you're going to
Oh.
be wearing one and we're going
Oh
to put the
God,
scariest game possible.
Well, you can't buy this one yet.
Yeah.
No,
Do we
I'm
know
just
what the
saying in
price
the
will be for this
future,
one?
eventually he's
there-
going to wear one.
I believe there was some article somewhere that said they were trying to get it under 300 when it hits
Oh, wow.
shelves.
Okay.
But the
Oh,
dev
okay.
kits have all been 300 or so, I think.
Yeah, you're right. At Nikon on that side, actually, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I haven't done a horror like Oculus experience yet, even with the old ones. So, and I'm dreading.
There's
I'm
some
dreading it.
really terrifying ones out there.
Ugh.
So, another quick piece, because a lot of people who are on this cast and a lot of people who are in KBMOD but not on the cast love Sleeping Dogs. And it is a really good game. If you haven't played it, go get it. It's like $5 all the time. You should get it. But there's a sequel coming out, apparently. That there's a Triad Wars game coming out, which is like a sequel. This sounds super sketchy, seriously. The more I read, like as I got to the end of this short article, I was like, I don't feel. It's going to be Triad Wars is going to be released as an online-only installment coming exclusively to PC. Online only? There's going to be an AMA apparently on Reddit on Tuesday. They described Triad Wars as another game based in the Sleeping Dogs universe rather than a full sequel proper.
Is this Sleeping Dogs enemy
Yeah.
territory?
It sounds like it is kind of Sleeping Dogs enemy territory where it's online only, so like that has to be multiplayer, right? Like
Have to be.
yeah. It's only coming to PC, so we'll see. It's in that universe. That's all we know. I would love to get Sleeping Dogs too. That's fantastic. This doesn't look like it's going to be that though, unfortunately. So keep your eyes out for that. As I said, we really like Sleeping Dogs, so hopefully another game in that universe can be good.
How long is that single player?
It's a
So,
GTA style,
Yeah,
game.
So it takes a while.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's as long as you want it to be in a way. I would guess.
I gotta
Watch
play that.
Dogs took me 20 some hours, and I would assume that that Sleeping Dogs. I did not beat Sleeping Dogs. I would assume Sleeping Dogs is probably up there, if just to beat the main campaign kind of thing. Probably a 20-hour game. You could make it into hundreds though, just like any of those games. This week, tons of new releases this week to round out the news here. The Long Dark goes into early access. Sean and I believe Hax were getting real hype on The Long Dark. It is another one of your survival type games, but it takes place in sort of northern. I think it's supposed to be like Canada or northern Canada, like up by the Arctic Circle type of thing. Takes place up there. It's a sandbox type world. I don't think there's zombies or anything like that. It's just straight kind of survival.
I thought this game was about Anion, The Long Dark. I'm confused. Anyway.
So it comes to early access tomorrow. We're probably gonna get it. Take a look at it tomorrow night. I think is what we'll do. We'll see what state it is in. It's early access. Oh, no. Tuesday, FIFA 15 comes out. Gauntlet, the remake of Gauntlet, which did not look good to me at PAX.
I'm
But
praying.
I hope
I'm
it's
praying
good.
something good will happen.
Yeah.
It'll never be Dark Legacy, but
No. No.
also
it
a game
won't.
inspired by Anion.
Defense Grid 2 as well. Shout out to Shannon Garrison working PR for that game. But yeah, Defense Grid 2 if you like the XCOM style game. It comes out Wednesday, the third Dark Souls 2 and final of this, at least this initial the offering. Crown of the Ivory King comes out on Wednesday. And Phoenix Rage, which we took a look at on this channel on a pre-release build that we got from PAX. Very hard, brutal platformer a la Super Meat Boy, with a few different mechanics that make it pretty cool. I had a lot of fun playing it. So, and then this is probably the most hype game to come out this year, I think. And Wednesday you will be able to buy. Yeah, I'm popping. I'm sorry. I don't know I don't know what it is. We're powering through it, but roadside assistance simulator.
Well, stop. I'm done. I can't. I swear to God, these developers are literally looking up like phrases and words in the dictionary and just putting them together and like, okay, I mean, roadside assistance. I mean,
No, what
anything
they're
on
doing
that?
is going to fucking job fairs and pointing at booths and being like, "That's what we'll make. Make that one."
Fucking serious. Actually, this
Accounting
one actually does sound-
simulator.
This one actually sounds a little interesting, though. If it wasn't just the same
See,
game
that's how they
over...
get you. That's how they get you.
But this is the thing. If it wasn't the same game over and over, because there's so many these companies make the same ones, but if this actually had shit like, you know, like, I don't know, you pick up, like, you get in bad accidents and, like, bad shit can happen, but it's all just the same. It's just these vanilla fucking horrible engines. But if, like, it was actually, like, the level of... I mean, GTA is, like, way too much of a dream. But you know what I mean? Like, if it was actually something substantial, I would be excited about it. But I know it's going to be the same
You
thing.
should watch the trailer.
Oh,
You should
God.
watch the trailer.
All right, I'm gonna
Brandon's
click on
dying
it.
over here at the trailer.
I'm going to click on it.
Speaking of simulators, Shannon from Evolve PR, I may have just misquoted the PR company he works for, but sent us an email. We're on their list, and the subject of the email was Game of the Year 2014 is here right now. Farming Simulator 2015 has released. Like even the PR knows. And then the final game, The Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which is like a murder mystery type game. But there's been a lot of hype surrounding that game, so I think Hex bought it. So he may be playing it, or at least taking a look at it. So Vanishing of Ethan Carter comes out on Thursday. So lots of new games. And we're going to take another quick break here, and then we'll be back with the viewer questions in a couple minutes.
You get to like change a tire on one of these missions.
Oh my
You
God.
gotta. I think you have
It's
to
all
jump.
the
You have to
same.
jump start a car, and then it goes back to your. It goes back to your control center, where I guess you manage your resources.
Oh my God! I'll tell you who'll play it. Mark will play it.
I'll play it.
Not both
Sure.
Nikon.
Sam, no.
Yeah, you'll
Oh.
play it. All you
There's
guys.
no
will play it.
charm to
I really do
simulator
think-
games anymore.
These simulator games
No
are just like
charm.
it.
There's
They're just
not.
like a
Like back when
cottage
it was
industry
people
for
that like took it
streamers.
seriously.
Yeah.
I really think these games are just made for streamers.
Yeah,
That's
you're
all.
right. At this point.
Airport Simulator, if you recall, was a game that made it so the longer you played the game,
Was it a game?
you had. It very certainly was not a game. It was a game where the more you played, the less you had to do.
Just like
None
at,
of you guys remember
just
that.
like at your job, you know.
It's
Just
like
slack off, man.
no, the game. The more you unlocked, the unlockables just automated tasks that you originally had to do. That's all
Just
it
like
did.
just like the future, man. The fucking robots are coming for us. AI's gonna take over. Like
Yeah.
it's fucking actual.
See, that's-
it's fucking realistic.
See, that's the. I guess that's the ironic lesson of these simulator games is the harder you work up front, the less you end up having to do.
Which is also their Achilles heel because then there's nothing to do, but it's a game that you paid to do stuff
But you
with.
learned your lesson. That's the point. You learned the lesson of
Wow,
the
this is
simulation.
getting meta. I don't even. This is crazy.
All I know is that wood cutting simulator was literally the worst game.
Oh
I've
my God! I
played.
saw you play a little of that, and that looked horrible.
Rip
when
swag
you
man.
cut the whole point was to cut down trees. You couldn't even control cutting down a tree. It was always the same thing. You clicked on the tree, a chainsaw came up and did the same poor animation. It didn't cut through the wood. It just put a black line there to make it look like it was cutting through the wood. They couldn't even do like tree physics. I mean, come on. You cut down trees. Give me a tree physic. And then, of course, the van physics were amazing. But
Like when
Jesus,
you look at
that
a
game-
simulator game, it's just like I wouldn't even want to do that job in real life. Why would I want to
Yeah,
pretend to do that job? Like
That's
Listen,
true.
you're just observing. You're like, wow, I like personally, it would suck to be a fucking truck driver. Why would I want to do that ever? No, I'm done.
I had the most hype stream I've ever had when I beat that warehouse simulator level with 1 second left on the clock, dude.
yeah, that was pretty
Nothing's
cool.
ever been more hype.
Uh,
I swear, I think you're right. I think they are churned out by one studio / publisher. Like all of them, they're all by the
I
same.
mean, you
company.
have to
there's
think
the
they're
real
just.
ones, and then there's the meme simulators, like fucking
Yeah.
Bear Simulator, epic Reddit thread simulator.
Well, no, like those aren't, but like the airport sims and the roadside assistance sims, they're all built by the same company. They're all the same
Farming
company.
Yeah.
Farming Simulator had this huge, like, well, I say huge, like huge for a simulator game, huge booth at Gamescom with like a big John Deere tractor.
They're
Oh,
big
yeah,
in Europe.
I saw pictures of it.
They're bigger over there. I don't
What
know
are the Europeans doing? Haven't they been farming those fertile lands for years? Why do they need to do it? Why do they need to do it on the computer? I'm so confused.
It's
honestly.
on the job training.
I get
Put
like I
that shit
understand
on your resume there.
like I more understand the truck simulator or like a game that has really what is the Euro? Is it the Euro Truck Simulator game?
Euro Truck Sim and Railroad Sim are the only two that are legit video games.
Yeah, like
The
those
rest of
I've
them
seen
are
people
like-
play, and I'm like, damn, those are really like that's really detailed, and like you actually can drive for hours and hours. Like that, I more understand than these like you're not learning anything about fucking farming. Like, yeah, I just it is baffling to me. I don't understand it.
I mean,
See, maybe is this the sign that we're all getting old? Like, I always wait for the transition, right? Like, I'm still not 30 yet, but as I'm no, and you're not that.
What
old
is
yet.
this?
But,
How did you get here?
no, but listen. I don't know. I'm having a crisis. Listen, but like the idea
Go buy a
that
car.
like it's like I don't understand this, right? And so it's just like with older people of a different generation who are like, I don't understand these beeps and boops with this music, right? Like, is that me with this farming simulator? Like,
No.
am I not cool anymore?
No,
I
it
mean,
would
not
be
that
like
I
if
was
you didn't understand Minecraft. That's what that would be.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Not understanding a simulator game is perfectly okay and normal for your body.
All right, good.
You're having strange changes, I understand.
My body's telling me this is not normal.
My body's telling me no, but my farming simulator telling me yes.
Oh, it's also telling you no. No, no, no.
Good.
You know, I bet farmers with families appreciate Farming Simulator because they can tell their kids like, hey, I found this really cool new game,
I bet,
and then all of a sudden you have them like competing to be the best farmer, and you're like, oh, now by the way, you're gonna take over the family business.
I bet they don't, because I've been to rural areas of Minnesota and I've never seen anything higher than a Pentium. So no, they can't.
They're not even playing it.
They can look. They can look at the Steam store page, maybe, if you can explain how to install Steam to them.
could you just have them go to steampowered.com?
Oh, I don't know. I mean,
My computer has 120
If they're capable
gigabytes
of using the
RAM.
internet.
Can I use this?
They can download it on their satellite internet.
oh my God, that's what it's like, though, and it's scary.
I was only half joking.
All right, first question. At Jopu Man, which is very close to Jopo Man, which would be a crazy superhero who would just fly around jacking people off so they passed out.
Jesus.
Like, that would be a superpower.
I appreciate the
But it's
detailed
like it goes to the
explanation.
slow-mo.
Stops criminals in their paths. Jopo Man.
Was it the Avengers that had that? Wait, what was the 6 slow-mo scene, Nick? Was that the Avengers or no?
X-Men.
X-Men. That's what it was. Days of Future Past.
I just watched that.
Where it has-
Super good, by the way.
Dude, super good. But you know
Yeah,
that slow-mo scene?
really
That's
good.
like super awesome.
With Quicksilver, yeah.
With Quicksilver, yeah, so that would be the time and often when they come to, everyone's coming and it's like, how did this even happen? By the time and he's just over in the corner, like I don't know. I mean, I guess technically Quicksilver could jerk off anyone, and they wouldn't
Yeah.
even really realize it.
He'd have you covered like Spider-Man when he wraps dudes up.
All right.
All right. He has a question though. Besides
Oh, God.
being named after the best superhero we've ever come up with, would you suggest someone who has never built a PC before go all out and build a $1,500 or more build, or more like the $700 to $800 build? If you haven't built before, I would start smaller because you don't even know what you need.
Make it upgradable. There you go.
Yeah, which our $800 build is always upgradable.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, if you have $1,500 to spend that you're comfortable with, and you know you're going to be playing a lot of games, then it's probably better to just put the money down, future-proof a little bit.
I would say your case, you definitely want to get something that you're going to be happy with. Don't just be like, oh, I'll use this case, because you can use that case for a long
couple
time.
builds, yeah.
And like your power supply, don't cheap out on that. But the other stuff, I mean, I don't know. You can kind of just go off of a lower tier one if you don't want to invest tons of money into it. But
Olaf Drawer Dagger, thank you for subscribing. Also, good email the other week.
I would say whether or not it's your first build doesn't really have a bearing on how much you should spend. You should research and find out what you need. If you're just figure out which games you like to play, and don't get an $1,800 or $1,500 PC if you really just want to play League of Legends with your friends, right? You won't need that. So it doesn't really matter if it's your first build. Like the parts are all the same. You're gonna you pay the same. A $1,000 CPU looks the exact same as a $99 CPU.
Yeah.
It goes in a socket. So the amount you're spending on it doesn't matter. It's just like research and figure out what you need, and it all depends on what you're gonna do with it, what you're gonna play. So don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money to get a good experience.
Or if you want to ever see a vagina in your life, buy a fucking MacBook.
So true, dude.
Seriously, help me. I need a MacBook.
I'm getting desperate. Please.
So yeah, there you go. It's pretty much all the same building process. It's more just figure out what you need, man, for your budget. Like, if you don't have to spend $1,500, then wouldn't. Like, I didn't need it. This next question, actually, I don't feel like we've been asked this before, even in a variation. The Stacked Deck on Twitter asks, what's one game that's horrible, but you love anyway?
Destiny.
Wow. Just throwing
Destiny's
it
not horrible. Destiny's mediocre.
I was trying to think of one. I know what Scott's is. Jedi Power Battles.
Yeah, you know.
Because, that game is utter shit, but he loves
That game is real bad, but I love it.
Yeah. This is more of a problem with games back in the day, I think. Because a lot of console games were just pumped out. Like, I can't, there's not many PC games that are coming out that are bad that I also would enjoy.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
I don't know, man.
I don't think I love any extremely bad games. I love a lot of mediocre games though, like Advent Rising, really really mediocre original Xbox game. I almost said Xbox One, and that would be... God Jesus, Microsoft, it's the worst.
that name
It's
is
the worst.
terrible. It's been gone over, but
We just need to get to a point where 360 isn't a thing anymore, and I could just call it the Xbox. And
Nice.
everybody knows
Dalesy
what I
calling
mean.
out CS Source. Ask him when he made his SIVO account. Probably yesterday, kid. I've been on that SIVO website. By the way, I logged into SIVO recently to play. We're going to play in a CSGO tournament. I have been on SIVO for almost 7.5 years since the last time I logged in that account. So, Dalesy, go fuck yourself. Anyway, sorry, go ahead. I just had to interject.
I'm trying to look here. I'm looking through my Steam list.
Not a bad idea.
I'll be honest. This is going to sound weird. And maybe sacrilege. But when I was actually only going for Moabs, Modern Warfare 3 was pretty fun. Like, a terrible game. But
Yeah.
man,
I can see that. I don't agree with it, but I can see it. Yeah.
like when I was just
I don't even feel like that. I don't know if that's the spirit of this question.
Yeah, it's just something that is downright garbage.
Like
but you
I feel
still
like
it anyway.
I feel like the answer to this question, you could say something like the airport simulator or something that does not really have any redeemable qualities, but you still had a good time
what about
with it.
DayZ?
But DayZ still is not
DayZ's
a
still
garbage game.
I know. Yeah,
It's the-
I guess. Yeah.
I feel like it's very hard to love something that is actually the worst.
Yeah,
I would
like
say
those
the best-
simulator games are the worst. Like
Yeah.
those are terrible games. I don't know. I played Freddy Fish 5, and that was terrible. But man, was it fun! I think you
That-
can
see,
I
I
think
Marines
that's,
I
I think that's a
actually
decent
enjoyed.
answer. Yeah.
Freddy Fish 5. All right.
Yeah, I think that's a decent answer.
Colonial Marines was fun because I played through it basically trying to speedrun it the entire time, basically seeing how broken it was, and I beat it in 3 hours, so that was kind of enjoyable.
'Cause,
Be
like,
like, oh, I can't run through. I actually have to fight people. All right, fine game.
I just think that, I think DayZ is actually really good for this. Because DayZ can be a ton of fun. Like, especially if you're playing with friends, and like I've watched a lot of DayZ videos, I've watched DayZ streams. Man, that game is broken as hell.
True.
Yep.
Like, it just is, and people who play it know it's broken. Like, the studio knows it's broken. Obviously, it's not a finished game yet.
That's why they're porting it to PS4.
Yeah, because it's not finished yet.
It's funny. There's a Wikipedia list of video games notable for negative reception.
There you go.
Big rig truckers.
Oh, it's on there. Yeah.
I'm looking through my Steam list too, just for bad games that still had fun with. Oh man, there's not many.
I can't really think of any bad games. I actually, because I don't have nearly as much time to play as I used to, like when I was a lot younger, I just don't, like, I end up not playing bad games because I just avoid them before I start playing them.
Yeah.
Like, I look and I'm like,
You don't
oh,
want to waste your
it's-
time.
yeah, I'm like, oh, it seems
Or
like
your
people
money.
say that game is trash, so I won't get it.
I think objectively, looking back, Classic WoW was probably a bad game.
No, that does not. I'm gonna disqualify that answer.
Little bias, Brandon?
Look, no one loves WoW more than me. But
No,
like,
there's no original
But it
WoW
was
was original
2004
WoW
standards.
pushed
Right,
yeah,
like,
original WoW
okay.
pushed the boundaries of what was possible in an MMO. Like
Yeah.
you cannot say that's a horrible game.
all right, you've got me there.
As an MMO in 2014, yeah, it would probably be garbage.
I will try to give something here and say that there's one game that, looking back upon it, I'm sure was a bad game, but I really liked playing it when I was younger, and that is Tiny Toon Adventures Acme Stars for the Sega Genesis.
I don't even fucking know. I don't even fucking
fucking game
No.
title one more time.
It's actually Acme All Stars is the game title.
Oh my god,
I actually have thought of one while we were talking as well. ESPN Extreme Sports for PlayStation 1, which was a game that I tried to get Blah to play on Emulation Station a million times, because it's a fucking terrible game, but it's incredibly fun. Like, everything about it is just broken and horrible, and like nothing is done correctly. They just slapped some ESPN branding on some piece of shit. Like, if it hadn't had ESPN on it, no one would have ever even taken a look at it. Like,
Actually, in that same vein, I might say Star Wars Galaxies.
that game was
So
a broken
many-
mess.
so many-
for a
It
while.
was broken. It was broken for the entire existence of that core game, but is one of the best games I ever played.
Yeah. Take down Red Saber. I almost played that. Every tennis
feel-
game ever gets a shout out.
I feel like if you reach back to the earlier console days, you can find a lot of those. Because there were so many bad games, but it's like you didn't have much to play. So if you rented a game or whatever, like even if it wasn't very good, you had that game
Yes.
for 2 days. You were going to
Yes.
play it.
I
It's
had
not like
home,
YouTube was a thing. You couldn't watch it beforehand and be like, oh, okay.
Yep.
That looks like
You
fun.
just went with the best box art / back of the
Exactly.
box.
Exactly.
I had
There was so much more experimentation.
And you
I
were
had
always
Home
pissed if
Alone.
the instructions weren't in there. You were
Yep.
pissed
Yep.
off.
I had Home Alone 2: Escape from New York, the video game, and I
Yes.
played the shit out of it because I was like
Yep.
11.
I remember
But,
that
like,
game.
Man, was it terrible! It was like
That
the
game
worst
was awful.
platformer ever made in
Yep.
history. And you had like a vacuum cleaner as a weapon and shit. Like, I don't even know what they were doing. You didn't even have a vacuum cleaner in the movie. God, the fuck. All right, this next question from Josh MJ Bryan on Twitter. You have to become a professional in either bowling or badminton. Which one do you choose and why? I think there's a
Bowling.
right answer here. Bowling.
I think
Bowling,
I'd
because I
say-
can
I'd
still
say-
stay unathletic.
I'd say bowling just because at least like you have the potential to have notoriety on like ESPN2 or ESPN3.
Or the
I've
Ocho.
never seen a badminton match televised.
The
Yeah.
Olympics.
You're not
they
looking in the
do.
right places, man. They're
Well,
everywhere.
aside from the Olympics,
Yeah.
if that, I mean, I feel like maybe
I-
there's. It seems like professional bowling is a career.
Yeah. There
Not
are.
a yeah. There are. You're right.
I feel like if you're playing badminton, you're trying to make the Olympics.
If you're playing
Yeah.
badminton, you just fucking love badminton. Because why the fuck do you go pro in badminton? If you have the skill and the athletic ability to be really good at badminton, you fucked up. Like you picked the
or you
wrong
could
sport.
probably also be a great tennis player.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like because I mean, there's badminton. I have seen
Yeah.
like you were saying because of the Olympics.
It's
That's
even
only I've seen
faster
high
than
level.
tennis.
It's
So, like,
insane. They're nuts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like play a real sport, you fuck boys. Like change over. Play tennis. But I would do bowler for that reason.
How dare you
Plus-
cast aspersions on people who love shuttlecock?
It's very true.
It's true.
In gym, I know everybody did it when you had to play badminton. It was you'd yell shuttlecock before you hit it. Shuttlecock!
Well,
Shuttlecock!
What we did
Love
was
it.
we always tried to hit them directly up in the air so they get stuck in the rafters of the gym, so we didn't have to play badminton anymore. That's what we did. Ruin everyone's day. All right, this next question, I should have put more thought into my answers for this next question. At Zin6 on Twitter asks, what would be the funniest / stupidest pair, male and or female, of celebrities to star in the 50 Shades of Grey movie? I assume this
God.
means as Christian Grey and the Woman movie. There could be some real
There's
good shit.
Yeah,
coming
there's
out
so
of this.
many. Let's see. Here.
I don't know any specifics of 50 Shades of Grey, so I
Well,
don't know like
He
what to go on.
he is
That's-
I just know it's like erotica.
he likes
I'm
to
just-
dominate her though.
Okay.
I'm
the
gonna go
main
Nick
thing.
Cage, and what's the actress that has a horse face? What's her face?
Sarah
Sarah
Jessica
Jessica
Parker.
Parker.
Yeah, let's just go with those two. I
Nick
mean,
Cage
just
is
imagine.
Oh God.
Nick
That
Cage is just
pretty
a
horrible.
It's not bad.
Like machine. I can't. Can you imagine?
Oh my
Nick
God, the
Cage's-
faces he would make in the filming of that masterpiece, by the way, too, because he already makes so many good faces.
Make it happen.
Chat is
someone.
already out of control. on
Dalesy,
this one.
John Travolta,
Yeah,
and Kathy
I think
Bates.
Kathy Bates is number one for that
That's
role.
great.
Yeah.
That's great, because John Travolta's gay. We all know he's gay, so
Yeah.
that wouldn't even make any sense. But that's great.
I'm trying to think of
Roseanne.
John DiMaggio. Oh my God.
Michael, Sarah, and Roseanne.
Wow.
God.
Wow.
Michael
Because I
Cera.
just want to see Michael Sarah like spanking Roseanne with like
Oh
a horse,
my
a
Oh,
God,
horse
that's
whip.
I
Or,
don't.
like,
That's
I
sort
just
of the
pictured
same
it.
vein as mine. I'm gonna go with Rosie O'Donnell as the man,
okay.
and Dana Carvey as the female.
Oh my God.
The sad thing
Oh.
is,
But like they're in makeup and everything, but nobody addresses them. That it's like you're a man in woman's makeup. It's just like very serious the entire time.
Oh my
Jesus
God.
Christ. Oh my
I
like
like
that
the
image.
shout outs to Stephen Hawking.
Steve Buscemi.
Steven.
Yeah.
Steve
Buscemi.
Buscemi trying to be all seductive. Seductive Steve Buscemi is an oxymoron. I don't think
Yeah, I don't know if that would work.
that. Drew Carey is the dude, not bad. Chris Farley's corpse cannot star in this movie, but that
No.
would be.
Mm.
I think of another go. John Travolta and Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
They did say we could go across boundaries that way, so. Steve Harvey, that shirtless Steve Harvey pic that Fenton
Can it
used
be?
to.
How about Steve Harvey and Steve Harvey? Like they do like a Parent Trap
Dude,
style
Steve
like replication of Steve Harvey. So
Yes.
there's two of him on the screen at once.
oh, we have the technology. So
Oh
Yeah,
my
it
God,
could be
two.
done.
I think that is the pinnacle of what that movie could be.
Oh
Would be two
my
Steve
God.
Harveys.
But every time they fuck, they're on the set of Family Feud.
Just randomly.
It'll break the adaptation from book to movie, but I mean,
Oh my God.
when he climaxes, he just makes that face when the family just comes up with the stupidest answer
Dumb
possible.
answers.
I would do Dwayne Johnson and myself. That wouldn't be too bad. I'd be.
You just want to get
That's
fucked
just
by
a fantasy.
Listen, all right.
The Rock. Let's be real.
yeah, the question asked for celebrities, so
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Don't talk about The Rock that way.
Yeah. Up there you talk.
You could do Gilbert Gottfried and
Nope.
Kathy Griffin.
Oh God,
Oh
that'd be the
God,
most
two of the most annoying voices in the
Oh
world.
my God.
Oh, that's rough.
Oh,
That is rough.
Mm.
there's some real.
Yeah,
good.
I mean,
Hugo
people have already said
Chavez,
one's far better than I can come
Yeah.
up with in chat.
Clint
the-
Eastwood, 90-year-old Clint Eastwood, and Nicki Minaj.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, he is.
God
all
bless
that is-
his Yeah, he is all that is man, but God bless his nuts are probably scraping the ground every time he walks now. They've been hanging a long time. Good
Depends on the
Lord.
heat.
That's true. Wow.
Bran is dead.
Can't handle it.
These ones in chat, I just can't.
Just picturing these.
This might be the most odd one. Newt Gingrich and Queen Latifah. Like, what? I don't.
Oh my Lord. Oh my God.
Danny DeVito and Shia LaBeouf.
Done.
Oh God, no. Next question. We
Two
can't
Guy
keep-
Fieri's. All right.
We're just gonna keep going on and
At
on.
Zach, yeah, we could. At Zach57 asks, if you owned your own restaurant, what would be in your special sauce?
Oh God.
Oh man.
Thought it was going to be a serious question for a second, and it just took a turn.
Well, it can be serious.
Yeah,
Serious stuff.
I
This
guess.
isn't serious.
I love this is my serious answer. I love horseradish and like sauces. I'm just as if it says horseradish, I'm like, damn, I'm gonna put that on my burger or whatever. Whatever I'm eating. I don't know why
is
I
that
say
how
it
you
like
say
that.
it? Is that how you
I don't
say
like, damn, I'll put it on my burger. That's delicious. Yeah, so it would involve horseradish. I don't know what else, but it would definitely be a key component.
it? Immediately 15 semen spams in chat.
Yeah.
Didn't see that one coming.
I'm gonna
That's
go with
shocking.
sriracha mayo. Yes, it's played out, and yes, it's place now, but
No, but it's not. It's so good.
It is really
it's
good.
so amazing.
That's actually my answer too. It's not necessarily even sriracha mayo, but just like a special spicy mayo. That's like I feel like that like either spicy mayo or like a garlic mayo.
Soylent Peen. It's made of peanut.
I'm gonna go with Nickelodeon Gak.
Oh, God. It's not
Is
edible.
that even edible?
Not even a sauce consistency. It's like
It's chunky.
It could be.
Give me that Gak burger.
Didn't
Nickelodeon Gak
Play-Doh,
is not chunky.
isn't Play-Doh actually made out of like kids can
Yeah,
eat
you can
Play-Doh
eat it.
and
It's
not
non-toxic.
get hurt.
I would
Yeah, of
figure
course Nick would
Nickelodeon
know
Gak
that.
would be non-toxic.
I'm looking right now.
Because
Act
like
like
they
Nick-
sold that
if you
shit
can-
as a toy.
Yeah, that's
back
true.
in
It
the
must-
day,
Does
so-
anyone truly believe Nick Fenton has not already eaten Gak at least once in his
No,
life?
we were poor. We could not afford Gak. We got that shit from Walgreens, the knockoff version.
What is
so
this?
That
What's
was
the
definitely
knockoff version
toxic.
called?
yeah, that was definitely toxic. Like you should not breathe in the air surrounding Walgreens Gak.
Here we go, Gak. It made a fart noise when squeezed into its clear star-shaped container. Wow. There's nothing on its origin or what it's made.
Well, no one knows its origins.
It's made from the blood of Nickelodeon employees.
Nickelodeon Floam. Man,
Oh, yeah,
I remember
That shit too. Yeah, it was like a sculpting thing.
You know, I've always wanted to meet someone who was on a Nickelodeon show.
I want
felt
to interview Olmec.
I felt like not one of the employees. I want to like. I would have felt like my travels through the internet at this point. I would have met somebody
Somebody
who
that
was on who was on Legends of the Hidden Temple or like
Oh,
Double
God.
Dare. Or
There's got to be an AMA
There's,
out
yeah,
there.
I was about to say.
because I just want to know what the process was of going into a taping of Guts and like having to
Probably involved
compete.
molestation at some point.
Now, Mike O'Malley was way too lazy and drunk, from what I've heard on that show, to care.
I'd believe it.
Send it
Had
over
to-
to Bo.
Have to be drunk to do that.
Send
for
it
that
over to
long.
Bo. That was like Mike O'Malley's one line for the episode.
Yo, Mo, explain this shit. I'm gonna go drink.
I need to freshen up, if you know what I mean. Hand it over to Mo. I don't know. Sriracha mayo. That's my end game. Gak would kill people, Nick Fenton. You would not own that restaurant very, very long.
I really like anything that involves like Frank's hot sauce. So I would hire a really good chef just to make a bunch of like pub food that involved that, because I love buffalo sauce, wings, burgers, spicy chicken sandwiches. Just
I
Put
could
it
go
all
for
over
some
the place.
wings, but I'm telling you, man, I gotta find a good wing spot. There aren't that many, at least near me.
Rip a dip.
Rip a dip,
You
man.
just go to Roscoe's every day.
Yeah, I like getting shot, so I'll head down there in a minute.
All right. Well, that is it. So 158 in the books. Next Saturday, crowdfunding stream, video games, APL, myself.
Saturday, right?
Yes,
You said?
Saturday
Yes.
evening.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, trying to get them out to LAN. Brandon is confirmed for LAN. Goodness, so
I'll
excited.
be there.
Nice.
Um,
Lactate on me. While I'm sleeping, I want you to drip your nipple milk onto my body.
Wow.
God.
Oh,
And then sensually rub it on me just just soft enough that you don't wake me up, but I'm sort of consciously aware that you're doing it at the same time.
It's incredibly specific. Were you just waiting for me to book my ticket before you laid that on me?
He's
Oh,
been
wait.
waiting
I've
his
I've
entire
had some
life.
feelings held back for a while here.
Wait, Fat Attack, did you send me another episode in the Vape Sensei? I'm checking my email now just to make doubly sure.
His saga has ended.
It has ended. Okay. Well, thanks for watching. Episode 158 has come to a close after a bunch of lactating bird. And make sure you follow the channel. We are live pretty much every day on twitch.tv/KBMOD, which is where you should be now watching me do this. Make sure you follow the channel. And if you really want to support us, please consider subscribing for $4.99 a month, and you get no more commercials. So, we will see you next week. Same time, same place. All our Twitters are on the screen. Nikonpunch, NFEN, APLFisher, Volition, and myself. We'll see you next week for episode 159.
farewell.
Later, bros.
Bye.
Later.